Hi and welcome to the channel. My name is Anna Maria and this is the first episode in a series I'm going to do on this channel. This is about the witch trials and I will do episodes from different countries and places on this subject and how they dealt with it. And in this first episode I will start with Sweden. It is important to remember that most of the people that were accused of witchcraft were not bad people. The witch trials reached a hysterical level and almost anything could get you punished. I would also like to remind everyone that the witch trials were brutal. And I will take up themes that can be quite distressing, especially when it comes to the sentences and punishments. So a warning for the episode. During the 1600s, the priests had a really high influence on people's lives. And the devil was a real presence in the lives of the people. And threats over what he could do and how he would punish you if you did something wrong was very much there. Priests often had a high education and they were socializing with people that were high up in the society. They were also the ones that gave all the news to their congregation of what happened in the village or the town or the country. So it wasn't that surprising that they were heavily involved in the witch trials. So much that they could be the judge in one of the court cases or they could interrogate the person that was accused of witchcraft. There were already laws in medieval times against witchcraft and sorcery. But these laws was mostly aimed at people that wanted to do bad things or hurt someone. During the 1500s the Reformation came and that changed everything. And in the 1600s the witch trials were in full force. What had been seen as nature cures or home cures before for illness was now seen as witchcraft. And the people that performed it was seen as witches and wizards. It was seen as a mockery of God and a threat to the church. During this time they also combined witchcraft and sorcery with heresy and it became a combined crime. And if you did anything of this, it was seen as you were going against the faith and the church. The laws of the country and the laws of the church and God were intertwined when it came to these kind of subjects. There were court cases against witchcraft in the medieval times, but it was in the 1600s it really took off. It was often in two instances, where one was in the local courthouse where the punishment and the sentence was declared. And if the punishment was death, then it had to be sent to the hovrätten or the court of appeals to be determined. Sweden had something called Kungliga Trolldomskommissionen. That can be roughly translated to the Royal Witchcraft Commission. This was invented because of the surge of cases in the 1660s and forward. Priests were often judges in these cases. Usually it was women that were accused, but there were also some men and children. The most common witnesses for these crimes were children, and they usually accused relatives or close family. You can discuss why children were the most common witnesses. But one theory is that they were seen as innocent, so the adults could send them to make a more believable statement of someone they wanted to get rid of. But this is just a theory. Typically the children said that they had been taken to Blåkulla by a family member. Blåkulla was a place where the devil was said to hold big parties and orgies with the witches and other evil beings. There were different kind of punishments for witchcraft. One of them were death. If you were sentenced to death, you could repent a bit by admitting your crime, and then it was believed that you were forgiven by God. But even if you asked for forgiveness, you would still be executed. Usually that meant that you would be beheaded and then burned at the stake. Other punishments could be that you would get a fine for minor offences. But it could also include torture, humiliation, the stocks, running the gauntlet, and other corporal punishments. During the most intensive period of the witch trials, which was 1668 to 1676, it was said that around 280 people were executed for witchcraft. All in all, though, it was around 400 people. One of the cases was that of Malin Matsdotter. She was born in 1613 and was executed in 1676 in Stockholm for being a witch. Her case was one of very few in Sweden that led to someone being burned alive. Malin was born in Finland but later lived in Sweden. She was married to a man called Erik Nilsson and they had 15 children together, but only 2 of them survived to adulthood. Erik was executed in 1668 because one of his and Malin's daughters, Anna, said that she had seen him perform bestiality with a cow. Both of the daughters were beaten by their father, and they even ran away from home once because of the severe beatings. And it was after this that Anna accused Erik of bestiality. Malin remarried, but it seems like that didn't work out. Malin herself was accused of witchcraft in 1676 by Maria, the other daughter by her and Erik. Maria said that her mother had taken her and others to Blåkulla to meet the devil. 2 other children, Mattias and Margareta, also said that they had been taken by Malin to Blåkulla. All of the children also said that in court they saw the devil behind Malin trying to make her not to confess. Malin was asked to show her knowledge in the Christian faith, but when she couldn't answer some of the questions that was asked of her, it only strengthened the belief that she was a witch and in close contact with the devil. Even Malin's other daughter Anna accused her of witchcraft. Malin was sentenced to death in 1676 and was going to be burned alive. She was given some chances to confess, and if she had done that, she would be beheaded and then burned. But Malin refused. Apparently, according to witnesses, Malin was very stoic through her execution. She didn't scream and she didn't show any sign of pain. And this was seen as an extra evidence that she actually was a witch, because it was said that witches didn't feel any pain. Malin was the second to last person that was executed for witchcraft in Sweden. The last person was Anna Eriksdotter that was beheaded in 1704. In 1779 the death sentence for witchcraft was abolished, but you could still be punished in other ways. As I said in the beginning, this was the first episode in the series about witch trials. In the next episode I will talk about England and some about Scotland and Wales. So if you like this episode, please like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget the notifications, and I will see you in the next one.